Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are going to be talking about a topic that I wanted to talk about for a long period of time, but I still wanted to do some research on it, and I wanted to ask a couple people about it because I know a couple people do this, which is the keto diet. Is it necessary or not? Do you need to do it to make further progress or not? So what I decided to do again is do my own, research in terms of just looking at some reputable studies and asking other people what they, have found from it, what benefits, what, cons from it, and just to see overall, is it beneficial or not? So I've laid out a couple of pros and cons of it. I wrote down some, I tried to simplify it for myself as much as possible. So let's just go over what keto is, okay? So keto is a high fat, low carb diet, okay? So basically you're gonna be eating a lot more fat than you are gonna be eating carbs. If you're gonna be eating carbs, it's probably gonna be anywhere from 15 to like 40 grams of carbs, right? 40 being on the high end and 15 probably being on the low end. There are some people that just don't have carbs at all, which for me personally, I think it's insane that you're not really having carbs. But again, that's just my personal opinion. I would consult with a doctor, obviously, if you're looking for the best dietary advice or nutritionist or someone, okay? Someone that's actually in that field, if you know what I mean, okay? So that's what keto is. Now the pros of it, okay, it reduces the risk of getting any kind of chronic diseases. So diabetes, heart disease, things like that. Just the general stuff I can name off the top of my head. It's going to reduce the risk of those, diseases from coming up, essentially, okay? It also can lower your cholesterol. So there are some health benefits, absolutely. But is this sustainable long term, right? Is this sustainable is the big question. It's not sustainable when you really look at it, okay? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be socializing. You're going to build up a craving for carbs. It's going to be hard to really avoid carbs because a lot of the foods that we eat contain a little bit of carbs, okay? And you basically have to avoid that at all costs to maintain that ketogenesis state, right? So if you want your body to stay in ketosis, the majority of your calories need to be coming from fats, okay? And I would imagine that's hard to do if you're going out to a restaurant or, going on a night out, whatever. It's going to be extremely difficult to actually maintain that. Okay, and realistically, you still want to have a social life, right? You still want to go out, enjoy your time. Maybe a part of enjoying the time is enjoying the food at a certain restaurant, okay? So it's not really a sustainable thing when you look at it, okay? Another con to it is you may really be placing yourself in a calorie deficit, okay? Too much of a calorie deficit. Yes, even though 1 gram of fat is double the amount of calories and 1 gram of carbs or protein, you're still going to be under eating. I would imagine personally for me, when I have like a big steak or something, after that steak, I'm pretty full, okay? And the thing about that is if I eat that, I could sit for a long period of time without eating. I will forget to eat because I'm simply just not hungry, which is a good thing, but it also can place you in a big deficit, which in the long run, you may be missing out on some nutrition that you need to, replenish yourself and just, overall keep yourself in good health, okay? Which is something we don't want to do. So yes, you may lose, body fat from doing this, but you may put yourself in such a, low deficit that you may also lose muscle mass, because you're just not consuming enough calories, which isn't going to be ideal for building muscle. Okay. So you would kind of have to track. You would have to track this, I think. I think trying to do this and not tracking, it's almost a recipe for disaster, because you don't know if you're under eating or overeating. You just don't know the calorie content. And I think the calorie content is important. Okay. So at least if you're going to do this, you have the right to choose whether you want to do it or not. Again, I would consult with a nutritionist, a doctor, someone certified. I think you should be having a healthy amount of calories. I think that's the most important thing. Okay. Another issue is the fats that you can be eating can be, bad quality fats, like saturated fats. If most of your fats are coming from saturated fats, it could potentially be extremely damaging to your health, which is not what we're looking for. Okay, so you're not really going to be reaping the benefits from the diet if you're actually doing that. So again, yes, you could see a lot of people on the internet doing this diet, like, oh yeah, the results are crazy. I'm losing body fat without having to track. But this, I think in conclusion, is a short-lived thing, okay? It's just not a sustainable thing. Yes, you do get progress very quick, but then after that, the progress is short-lived. It's not really a sustainable thing as well. Like if you want to go enjoy yourself, you can't really enjoy yourself, because once you start having, an exponential amount of carbs, the ketogenesis state, or ketosis, whatever it's even called, is pretty much gone. The effects of that are gone. Okay, so in conclusion, what I would do is I would just, and again, I've been doing this for the longest period of time, I would just have a healthy amount of carbs, probably a little bit higher on the carbs, a decent amount of fat, okay, and 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein. Okay, that's what I would do, even though there are new studies that are coming out that are saying, oh, you don't need to have as much protein as that. But again, I would just rather be on the safe side, and protein kind of keeps you filled, but I don't want to digress. What I would do is, again, just have a healthy amount of each macronutrient, so you're not really deficient in anything. And if you really want to be on the safe side from not getting a chronic disease like diabetes or heart disease or whatever it might be, just stick to the quality kind of food. So like, for example, carbohydrates, stick to the complex carbs, so like your potatoes, the rice, oats, things like that are not gonna create such an insulin spike. Okay, whereas if you're having simple sugars, yeah, that will probably do that. That will increase your chances of getting diabetes. Okay, and if you're having that, for a long period of time, it could really do some damage, especially if you're prone to that. You have that, genetically, that your family runs with, your family runs deep with diabetes. What I'm trying to say, you may be prone to that, so you have to be careful. Okay, I would just stick to, really, for the most part, complex carbs, and obviously monitoring your blood sugar. If that's, if you have diabetes, then yeah, you'll need to take that into that will be a priority for you. Okay. If you have heart disease, on the other hand, you don't want to go too crazy with the fats and obviously carbs as well, but you don't want to be having things like saturated fats where it's going to mess up your cholesterol and just do a number of other things, okay, which are just not going to be really conducive in a way. So in conclusion, what I would do, I would just try to have unsaturated fats, complex carbohydrates, and a decent amount of protein, a well-balanced diet, okay? For physical activity, make sure obviously you're doing your resistance training. For cardio, I would be adding a couple cardio sessions a week, at least 3 to 4, doing probably 100 minutes of cardio a week. Again, just trying to keep yourself really healthy, okay? In terms of resistance training sessions, anywhere from like 3 to 5 a week is great. Even, some people can get away with 2, but again, if your goal is to really like bodybuild, I think it's going to be hard to just do 2 sessions a week. But again, I don't want to digress, but you could do 3, 4, 5 sessions, okay? So that's the end of the video. I kind of really tried to simplify this as much as I can. I don't know if I got anything wrong there. If I did, just tell me in the comments. But that's the idea that I got from it. And would I do it? I don't think so, because it's just not going to fit my lifestyle. There may be really good health benefits to it, but I think in conclusion, it's short-lived. Okay, and it's not really a way I want to live my life. Maybe you could do it for like a month or 2 months to, shred down or something. But again, if you really want to shred down, just track your calories and just constantly take away a little bit at each point you plateau, okay? And then you get to a point where you're happy with your body fat, and you can maintain those calories, unless of course it's not extremely low or something, or it's inhibiting your ability to build muscle or something like that, right? Or even just health-wise, you don't want to get super low. But that's the end of the video. I'll drop the links of the, where I got my information from, and hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.